What's up guys, Greg here with Lens Pro to Go and Lens Rentals. Today we're going to be checking out the SLR Magic Anamorphot 70mm T4 1.3x Anamorphic. If you guys want to learn more about our camera settings and our setup, I'll put all of that in the description below, so definitely go and check that out. Down there will also be all of the time codes for all the tests that we're going to be running, so looking at breathing, flaring, bokeh, sharpness, distortion, and lastly chromatic aberration. So let's get into the first test, checking out the breathing of the 70mm T4. So looking at the breathing on the 70mm, we're wide open at a T2.8, and we're just racking focus from close focus to infinity, just like we did with all of the other lenses. Now this one probably has the least amount of breathing of all of them. Shifts very little compared to the other two. I was surprised. I thought there would definitely be a little bit more breathing in there, but it holds up pretty well. And I'm just going to speed it up here and go a little bit quicker so you can see it exaggerated a little more. Next up, we're going to look at the flaring, and just like all the other tests, we're going to pan and tilt around with the light inside the frame first, looking at how it handles when we get into the corners. We get that nice big blue streak across the frame. We get that blue sort of wash over the whole image, and occasionally we'll get a little blue highlight here or there. The thing with the 70mm is we're not really seeing that blooming in the corners as much as we did with the 50mm. And then we're going to go outside of the frame and pan and tilt around. Here we get a lot less flaring than most of the other lenses. When we're going up the sides, you definitely get that blue streak across it, but going on the top and bottom, you just get this slight blue wash coming across the frame. Next up, we're going to take a look at the bokeh, and we're focused at 7 feet away on the chart, and we're just going to rack through the aperture range, going from a T4, which is wide open on this lens, all the way down to a T16, just like the rest of the set. Now with this one, you don't get too much bokeh because it is a T4. You don't get those really oblong, oval-shaped bokeh in the background, but it does look pretty nice. I just don't know if it would give away that anamorphic style look. Now let's check the edge distortion and sharpness. This one probably has the least amount of distortion, which you would expect because it's such a telephoto lens. It stays sharp pretty much across the whole frame. Again, being a T4, it's much sharper than those other lenses wide open. We're just going to pan back and forth so you can see it on both sides. Towards the edge, there's definitely still a little bit of distortion. You can see the lights curving with the barrel distortion, but in the center, it's super sharp, and even on my face on the sides, it's not too noticeable. Next up, let's look at just sharpness. So we have the chart in front of us here, and we're wide open at a T4. Right below that, it's a 300% cropped in. Now we're gonna jump to a T5.6, which it definitely sharpens up quite a bit, and then a T8, still pretty sharp. I don't know if there's a huge difference between the 5.6 and the T8. Now the last thing that we're going to look at, just like we did with the 35 and 50, is chromatic aberration. Now I have that light set up shooting right into a white background, and that's going to give us some really good contrast between the dark light and that blown out paperboard that I have there. And I'm just slightly racking focus on either side of the light so you can see how it color fringes when you're close focusing and when you're back focusing. I would say they all handle pretty much about the same. I don't think there's any one of them that has a better coating on it, and that's pretty much just to keep the lens uniform. They wouldn't do that to a single lens in the set. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little test on the SLR Magic Anamorphot Cine lenses. If you want to learn more about these guys or try them out for yourself, I'll throw a link in the description below and at the end of this video, so definitely go and check all of that stuff out. If you want to see us carry more anamorphic lenses and do more anamorphic lens tests, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for new videos every week, and I'll see you in the next one.